host, Elsa Kurt, and today I'm really excited about our guest. And I say this all the time, but I'm really excited about my guest today. This is information that is really life-changing for authors and anyone who wants to get into e-commerce and just doesn't know what to do. So with me today, I have Veronica Jeans, and she is a e-commerce coach, a speaker, and a best-selling author. And hopefully she's going to give us some of her secrets today. How are you, Veronica?
I'm absolutely fabulous.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate it.
Oh, I love coming on the show, right? This is very exciting. This is the first time I've actually been on an author show, not just on an, e-commerce show or marketing show. So this is very exciting for me as well.
Oh, well, I know the viewers and listeners are going to be so excited too when they see the title for the show, because this is something that we struggle so hard with. Selling our books is such a challenge. And I don't think enough of us take advantage of the whole e-commerce lane because we don't really know enough about it. And I put myself in that boat too. I don't really know nearly as much as I should. And so that is why I'm assuming that is why you have 4 nonfiction books, all on helping us figure all of this out, correct?
Yes, absolutely. And my clients that actually selling products started this whole journey because they kept saying to me, Veronica, we need something, we need a plan, right? And I go, just listen to me. You don't have to just do as I say, baby, So, so that was when you start writing books, hey, I'm going to write this in 30 days. That didn't happen. It was like having a baby. It took 9 months before my book was ready. Because, as a nonfiction author, I admire fiction authors. They are amazing, right? But as a nonfiction author, and then also writing on the technical side, okay, so I live on a boat, and this is my husband behind me. So we don't have a choice. My office is in the salon.
Anyway. I love it. I think it's awesome. How fun is that? Living on a boat. How cool is that?
I love it. So, writing a nonfiction book is a little bit more technical. And then having to learn how to write properly. And as you can hear, I've got an accent. So I speak 4 languages fluently, but I also think in the languages. So my English gets a little bit discombobulated. Seriously. And then, having that, okay, so if somebody follows my books, does it make sense, right? So every time I read something, does it make sense? So you have that saying, edit it 1,000 slices or something. Authors have to say.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's so true. And you're so right on all counts. Fiction writing and nonfiction writing, they're just 2 separate universes. And to write a nonfiction book, especially when you're helping somebody, when you're instructing, and it's a how-to essentially. The technical aspect, yeah, you're absolutely right. And did you find as you were writing it, well, first of all, are you a very organized person? So I'm a pantser. I fly by the seat of my pants, and and that works fine for fiction. Nonfiction, maybe not so much, because you really do need to be organized, right?
Yes. Oh, yes. So my first book was, I started out, so I've been very lucky. So I've coached for a long time. And so I have a lot of information, right? And then so I created this course, and then I had everything in a sticky note. So it's trying to get that course sorted out, because sometimes you have the chicken and the egg, and which comes first, right? So so that helped a lot. And then I took those sticky notes and created the books. But I have to tell you that ever since my first book, it is the pants thing as well. And then I go back and go, oh, maybe I should have a plan here.
Yeah, I do hear that a lot. Like, a lot of people are like, I'll ask, because I'm just always curious about everybody else's writing process, like how they go through their process. And it does turn out a lot of people are kind of like a hybrid. They do a little bit of both. And and it really, and not that it actually matters, like whatever works best for you is great.
Yes.
But so you saw this lane really where people really needed this kind of information, and you, if I read correctly, you have been in the business for 30 years. Is that correct?
Well, I've been not e-commerce. E-commerce hadn't been around that long,
Mhm.
but I used to own a recruiting company. Well, in one of my careers or lives, business lives, and so that went downhill in 2008 with the recession, and especially I was in IT. I sent IT guys all over the world. And then Verizon was one of my largest clients, and they just said, Veronica, we have to part ways. And so, these guys, they can have a job with us, but unfortunately, their rates dropped about 75%.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's pretty normal. That's pretty normal in those situations. And then I thought, okay, so what do I want to be when I grow up? And I thought, yes, I'm going to be a sales and a marketing person, and I'm going to sell something online. And then I thought, okay, so what do you sell? That's the big question. What do you sell, right? Unless you're making something or you're creating something, is the big decision is, what can I sell? That maybe we are original and nobody else is selling, which doesn't happen. But so, and then I'm a schmoozer. So I talked to the sales guy at this shopping platform, and then he kept sending me customers. Hey, Veronica, you know a little bit about this, but you also know about business, and can you help them? And why not, right? So that's how my career started in e-commerce. And
Wow.
then, I had a free workshop for my customers, because a lot of people don't realize, and I'm talking about authors as well, right?
Mhm.
That everything that you create is business 101. And doesn't matter whether it's online or offline or wherever you do it. And you gotta have those steps of how to create your business, right? And if you don't have a strong foundation, then you struggle, right? And it's like you fall into things, and you listen to people, and you never really move forward in a straight line. It's like, I'm all over the place, right? We like munchkins, we like, oh, there's something else we can do. So, and that's how I got into it. And then and then I created the courses, because I got very tired of telling people over and over and over again what to do, especially in the beginning stages. And I like teaching people in the moment, right? So you have a problem, I'll tell you what to do, and then I'll show you what to do, right? And that's how the book started, because I thought, okay, I know people like the course. So maybe what I do is discussion. I always discuss it with my little my husband calls them my mates, my chums, because I talk to them every week. And so I asked the ladies, what do you think I should do? And they said, should I write a book? Yes, that's a great idea, because people either learn by visual or they learn by hearing and see, right? So that's how the book started. And but being as a nonfiction, the first thing people say to you, or business people say to you, oh, just write the book and it's like a business card, and it's you'll become famous, not with the book, but because you've written a book, right? And I
Right.
thought, I'm not in e-commerce for nothing, right? So I'm going to make money with this. And so but again, like with any business that you start, doesn't matter what you do, you got to start understanding the product, what who your clients or who your customers are, and how are you going to show your customers what you're doing. So it's a new thing, until I suddenly realized that, hey, my book is actually my product, right? And I have to sell it. So hello, I teach all this stuff. So every now and again I've got to think, maybe I should follow my own advice, right? So, and that's how it started. And then obviously my website is on Shopify. I discovered Shopify, I must say, about 11, 12 years ago. They were the only platform that had an international capability of me being in the USA. I can sell maybe to Africa, and I can have a merchant as the bank in Africa. And a lot of these banks are not going to go, oh, I can create this API and it's going to cost me a lot of money. And, normally in those days, you have to talk to the bank and go, okay, I need your API, which means that they connect to the shopping cart. And if they don't have that, then you pay for it. And so I thought, no, I'm not going to do that. And so they were the only ones that had that international aspect to their shopping cart, because they're a Canadian company. So they understand that, hey, we need to do this. And then once I started with them, it is by far the best shopping platform I've ever seen and worked in. And it's easy, right? It's easy. And also the reason why they also become so good is they're growing so fast that the people that are creating these apps and these services are devoted to Shopify. So you get all this smorgasbord of stuff that you can use, right? So for instance, the printing company is called Lulu Press, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, they directly connected to Shopify. So you have your book and boom, it's on the platform. And then you can when somebody buys it, boom, it goes off and it gets ordered, right? So it's like the print on demand. So it makes it very easy to sell on your shopping platform, as well as obviously Amazon.
Sure.
Amazon is the big boy, right? But you still have to pay a fee, and you only get so much, right? But they have the customer base, so you have to be on Amazon. So I had to explain why you only get paid partially for your Kindle when somebody reads it to another nonfiction writer that I was helping. And he says, they're only paying what they read. And I go, oh yes, baby.
Yeah.
You
yes,
don't
it's
get
painful.
paid.
And they
I
pay
know, right?
such a tiny amount. It's like, oh, yeah.
And so he says, that's not fair. I go, talk to the hand, baby. It is what it is. They the big boys. And I love this part. So remember when we used to have to pay for bandwidth? If, say, for instance, one of my customers does personalized puzzles, so because people have to upload their stuff, she was charged per bandwidth, right? For the amount of bandwidth they use. And so that's like the internet that we get for free right now. You only get this much. And so Amazon charged a fee because they had to pay for the bandwidth, although they probably had their own bandwidth, but that's what we paid for in the beginning, right?
Right.
They didn't take the charge off. We are still paying for the bandwidth charge.
Wow.
Right? Plus,
Whoa.
okay, right? Plus, I love this. Hey, so plus, we, as a KU authors, we get paid whenever our readers read our stuff, right? And we don't get paid if they read it the third or third time, right? And so Amazon hangs on to our money for 90 days. They have this $millions fund that they literally earn money from. So they're charging us $2 something, depending on what our images are on our book. Then you only get 70% or 30%. Well, you should actually take 70% of your book, right?
Right.
Then they hold on to your money, and they're earning money off your money, right? So you get smack, right?
All the time through the whole process. Absolutely.
Right.
Yes, it's brutal.
So it's brutal, but here's the bottom line, baby. We rely on their customers to buy our books, right?
Yes.
So I sell on my website not as much as what I sell on Amazon, because you pay more for advertising if you do Facebook advertising or whatever advertising, right? And Amazon is a lot cheaper,
right?
And then you have one pop in, two pop in. Amazon has 10,000, 15,000, right? So, and you know that it takes so many touches for people to actually buy our stuff. And the same thing with our books, right? They will look at our book, they'll look at other books, then they'll look at other books,
Sure.
and then they might come and buy our book, right? So, and it's the same thing with everything that we're selling. But anyway, I'm talking too much.
No, this is so fascinating, and it's really such valuable information because there's so many people that are just starting out, and of course we're talking specifically authors, but this can be applied to anyone who's doing something business minded and trying to sell a product. And people, I know people who say, I'll never use Amazon, I'll never go on Amazon, I don't support that, and you're shooting yourself in your own. You're hurting yourself by doing that, because like you said, it is what it is. And to fight that despite your own self is silly. So it's really important for people to hear that.
Realize. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you are, it's like selling to Barnes and Noble. I mean, seriously, you're going to compare Barnes and Noble to Amazon, but you got to get this in your head that you are renting space on their shelves where their customers walk by and is going to buy the product. So, for instance, Walmart, if you are a vendor of Walmart for whatever product, you literally rent the space and you have to do some marketing, right, to send people to buy it.
Right.
If your product does not sell, you can come and pick it up and take it away. The entry into Walmart to sell your products to Walmart is $1 million worth of inventory.
Wow.
So you have to be very, very sure your product will sell. So if you think about, authors in the day that had their books and they would like go to the printers and the printer would say, okay, you need to pay me $2,000, and then, or having to pitch to publishers, right? And then you still have to do all your own stuff. You have to advertise and publish and email people, and they expect you to do a lot of it and sit and beg people to buy your book, right? And so Amazon has made it so much easier for us to sell, right? Can you imagine we sitting at home writing? We don't have to get dressed, pack up our boxes of books, take it to Barnes and Noble to sit there for 3 days and sell 5 books.
Right. Yeah. A large part of what we're paying for is our own convenience, right? This is all of this our convenience fee.
Yes,
Right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Now, tell me a little bit about, when I go and buy your books, let's start with the first one. When I go and buy that book, because as soon as we get offline, I am buying it. Because I'm realizing more and more how much I need to know here.
Yes.
And so in your first book, is this basically like a walkthrough of how you do this, how you set up, for example, an e-commerce store and all that? Do you have all that in there?
Step for step. And I've got thousands of screenshots, and that was also another process of learning. And I should know better about printing images. And I thought, they need to just put up with it. They want to buy my book. This is knowledge, but the images are not so good. So Ingram Spark just said, no, lady, you're not putting your book here because those images aren't improved. So I thought, no problem. 300 DPI, which makes them a little bit bigger. The pixels get a little bit nicer. And they said, oh, no. You have to do 600. So I have been redoing my stupid images. So, but it's a step for step. And obviously I put a lot of my own knowledge into it. I'm a Microsoft certified systems engineer in some of my career thing when I came to America. So
I think it's really safe to say,
you
know your stuff.
So I literally start from how to choose your name, how to choose your business name, because here's what happens is, and there's some no-nos and some yeses, right? So here's what happens. You go, oh, I love this name, Elsa Kurt, elsakurt.com. And then you go, Holy cow, there are millions of them. Okay, I'm going to do Elsa-Kurt.net. Nobody looks for .net, right? Why?
Right.
Nobody remembers the hyphen, right?
Yes, that
So
makes perfect sense. Yeah,
so
absolutely.
we get married to the name, and then we think, no, we have to squeeze this square peg into this round hole because this is the name I'm married to, right?
Right.
So and so you have to literally, because online is important. If you're going to sell stuff online, it's important. So you have to get the name .com first, then you can get the name, right? And so again, it's the chicken and the egg again. But I've had this happen. So somebody was like, oh my God, I need this name. It's going to be so cool. It was something fancy, and it was .net. Guess what .com was?
Oh no, really?
Yes, it was. It's like, ouch, ouch. It looks
Yes.
so bad. And then, so what if your competition has a similar name and they .com and you have .net? Who's going to get the customers, right? So those are those little things that I add to the book because of my experience. You know, I've had a customer who had this $3 million company that was about 20 years ago, and 20 years ago. And then he wanted to get something online. So I literally built his store on Yahoo store, something like that. I had to code every single product.
Wow.
There were 3,697 products.
Oh.
I remember. I'll never forget it. And each product has to get a different number, right?
Wow.
And so he had the singular name of his domain. He was happy with it, did his website and everything. There was a guy in Florida that registered the plural of his domain, sat in an apartment, sold flags, and made 1.5 million.
Wow.
And this guy, his profit wasn't even 1.5 million, right? The guy that I was helping.
Yeah.
So when you have a domain name, getting those plurals is super important as well.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So you recommend, so
That's
Elsa Kurt, elsakurt.com, get Elsa
Yes.
Kurt, like buy them all up.
Yes.
elsakurt.net, Elsa,
Yes.
like not
Yes.
every single variation, but the most
common.
used. Yeah.
Yes. The most common, I would say. So,
That's
I
great
mean,
advice.
you can buy 20 and that costs money again, right?
Sure.
So, for instance, so we have also that some people go, oh my gosh, this is a gorgeous name and it's so long. And again, my puzzle lady, she's been with me for a long time. She had the missing piece puzzle company.com. And I said to her, it's too long. People don't remember. So now she's got the missing piece puzzle.com. She's got the missing piece puzzles.com. So, that variation you have to have as well.
Yep.
And so it depends, with the name, it is, you sort of have to stick to what your author name is, right?
Right.
So, and most people have not registered their names, right? Which is super important as well. So, I've got Veronica Jeans, and I've also got Veronica Lee Jeans, which is one of my middle names. And I have to tell you that I lost my domain name.
It happens.
Expert, right? I took the automatic registration off. This can happen as well. And I thought, it's on automatic. I don't have to worry about it. Boom, it disappeared.
And it wasn't.
And people these days, there are bots out there grabbing these domain names that then you have to buy back. I was very lucky,
right?
Because it was my name. But normally, people actually buy, and then you have to buy the name for $3,000.
I was going to say, then they jack the price up really, really high. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, there's
so, and also, I mean, the whole thing about, so for instance, you're the author, right? And you have a chat show and everything like that. So what about, so you're also a business person, right? So let's talk about nonfiction. We'll talk about fiction as well. So why don't you sell cups, mugs, what are these things called? Pads, right?
Oh,
Pads,
right. Yep. The
right?
mouse pads. Yep.
Just, and so fiction authors should be doing the same thing. Because if I am a Rabbit fan, I would buy a mug that said something cool with your name on it, right? And don't really do the name unless you're really, really famous.
Right.
But I would, hey, I need coffee today by Elsa Kurt, right? Or I can't get up in the morning unless I have coffee by Elsa Kurt or something. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So have these really cool products that somebody would buy because it's really cool and with your name on it. Right.
Yeah. That is such phenomenal advice, because I think so many authors starting out in this business are so hyper focused and tunnel vision on, writing the book, publishing the book, selling the book, trying to find ways to sell the book. And that's it. Like, they're hyper focused on just the book. And they don't realize how much more is out there that you can build around the book and around your brand and branding,
absolutely.
right? Branding is so massively important, especially if you plan on writing more than one book. Tell me a little bit about this lane, this e-commerce lane for authors. Are you seeing more authors discovering this lane, or is this still a little more untapped, so to speak?
I would say there are authors discovering it. They tend to get stuck on a website that somebody offers them where they're selling the book. They don't think of a lot of people don't think of a website as, oh, I can actually have this website on the store where I can sell stuff. And so that concept hasn't really sunk through. And, they're writers. They should be writing blogs. Come on.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
They should
absolutely.
be writing articles, right? About anything that they are. If you're a fiction writer, then you can write about how to set up books, how you came up with these ideas. I mean, I'm fascinated by it. You can, and so if you had your own e-commerce store, you can also sell your books through e-commerce stores. A little bit more effort. So this is what I do. I don't sell it through Blue Press. They're a little bit more expensive. I look at my pennies, right? So somebody orders, I put an order through Amazon and I mail it to them. So now the guy that bought a book from me from Australia would have cost him $50 from our website, and he's still buying it. And I thought, holy cow, right? So what I did is I put it on Amazon. I emailed him. I said, here's your $45 back, because it's coming cheaply from Amazon. It cost me $5. So literally, I made enough money to put it on. It was a little bit more effort, but I didn't have to worry about the printing. I know the printing was less. I think, and I did a whole spreadsheet of the different types of printing where you can save money. And you're getting little cents and dollars for few dollars for your book. You have to look at that, right?
Right.
And so that's what you can do from your website. But on your website, you can be doing videos, you can be doing blogs, you can be writing stuff. I think I've got 4 blogs right now, 4 different types of blogs. And then you can you have your email set up through your Shopify store. And then you can send people, hey, put your pre-orders on your store as well. And then they can get a 10% discount through the email. Or if they've bought your book, unfortunately, Amazon owns our customers, right? We will never see our customers again. But if you know your people in your group, or I've so many people popping into my group, then you can say, you can send them a book reader thing, right, with your name on it, cute stuff on it. You can send them an end of the year calendar that is your low content thing, right? Or you can think of so many different things. A journal, send them a journal, right? That they're going to buy a book again. But if you have somebody that actually, how much they're going to talk about it, right? I read these books and this authors sent me this journal. Isn't that amazing, right?
Yeah.
Or if they
Yeah.
don't do that, please ask them to do it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. And that really is so valuable for authors to build a relationship, because, you know, when you buy a book and you get invested in characters, and that means if you get invested in these characters or the subject matter, if it's nonfiction, you are, you know, 1,000 times more likely to go back and buy more books by that author.
Yes.
So you want to stay in their mind. You want to keep their attention and want them to come back to you. So if they feel a personal connection to you and they get to brag about that personal connection, you've probably got a customer, you know, or a reader or a fan for life, you know, which is huge.
Exactly. It's huge.
Veronica,
And so,
I feel like
much.
I feel like I could talk to you all day and not get even like the surface of all of the things that you know. It's just amazing to me, just the wealth of knowledge that you have in this lane, and that you are so generous to share this in your books. Now, I want to make sure I have the names right. I am cheating because I'm reading them right now. So you have Build Your E-commerce Empire, right? Brand Your Shopify Store, Optimize Shopify, and then Content Marketing Strategy, right? And then you have
no. So my brand. So I've got 3 books that build the Shopify store.
Okay.
And then I've got my 4th book is Position Your Brand. So it's more of the blah 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 stuff, as I call it, right? So it's like really getting into the dregs of how to create your brand and how to personalize your brand, which is really what authors should be doing, right? Is personalizing that brand, what you need to do. And so the book that I'm pantsing right now, that I should actually start making stickies for, is content marketing, because that's the new kid on the block. Is you have to push out content. And so
yeah, I agree. You know, phenomenal, outstanding advice. Everything is so spot on. And, you know, and all the stuff that I don't know, I'm so excited to read these, because as of September 1, very selfish with this interview, I have to be honest with you. This is all about me and what I'm getting out of it. Never mind everybody else. It's not true, guys. This is, you know, I want you all to have this information too, but I'm definitely taking advantage of it. As of September 1st, I am going all in on the whole business aspect of all of these, you know, things that I'm doing. And this is, you know, exactly what I need. And everyone who is in my position, who has decided that, you know, I am taking my business very seriously. And, you know, you have to, right? I mean, why else do it? Why else write books? Why, you know, the whole aspect of, you know, the fulfillment and the joy and the sense of accomplishment is great. Making money while you're at it is even better, right?
Even better, right? I check my phone every day. How many books did I sell?
Yes,
it's the greatest feeling in the world.
Absolutely.
Somebody buys a book, right?
Yes. Oh my God, so much. Veronica, tell everyone where they can find your books and where they can find you.
Well, obviously my book's on Amazon, and if you look at Shopify Made Easy, all my books pop up. And then my website is Veronica Jeans, and you can actually connect with me on my website. I have a chat on my website. And also, obviously, you know, if you need any advice or anything, just DM me. I have no problem helping out. I love helping people get their stuff online and creating a bigger business.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much. And your enthusiasm for this, it just shines right through. So like, you get me excited about all of this. You know, some people are like, oh, blah, 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 e-commerce stuff, boring. No, not when Veronica tells you.
Thank you.
So thank you so much. I would love to have you back on the show again in the future, if you'd be willing, and we can talk about stuff and like maybe narrow it down to like one topic, and we'll just you know, pick it apart if you feel like it. That would be fun.
There's so much. There's just so much. I know. I have to agree with you.
Oh,
anyway,
awesome.
Yes, we can actually do a show where I show you what to do and how to set it up.
Yes. Oh, that would be so much fun.
How to get your first product in Shopify.
Oh my God, I can tell you everyone who watches and listens to this is going to be nodding their head. Yes, do that, do that. Oh, okay, guys. This has been the Writers Tribe Talk Show with Elsa Kurt. That's me. And Veronica Jeans was our phenomenal guest today. Go check out everything she has. If you want to grow your business, build your brand, do all of these great things. Listen to our guru, and we will see you in the next episode. Hey, family, if you're looking for the perfect gift for the reader in your life, why not check out one of my books? They're all available on Amazon and most major online book retailers, as well as elsakurt.com.